Hello friends, welcome to all. Myself Vishal Jogidas. Today we will discuss about principle of magnetic levitation and second topic will be linear induction motor and these are covered in the subject of electrical machines too. So let us start. First we will see introduction. What is magnetic levitation? So, magnetic levitation is the process of levitating an object by exploiting magnetic fields. Okay. Uh, so, we are using magnetic fields in a magnetic levitation. In other words, it is overcoming the gravitational force on an object by applying a counteracting magnetic field. So we can say that gravitational force will be overcome and we are using counteracting magnetic field. So either the magnetic force of repulsion or attraction can be used. So we know that if we know that in any magnet there is a north and south pole. So if we are using two magnets and two same poles, it means for example two north poles are placed near one another, then what will happen, the repulsion force will be there. Okay, and if two dissimilar poles are placed nearby, then there is a attraction force will be there. So we are using these two force in a magnetic levitation. Generally repulsion force is used. In the case of magnetic attraction, the experiment is known as magnetic suspension. So, in this attraction case, the experiment is known as suspension, and if we are using the repulsion, then it becomes magnetic levitation. So, for suspension, we are using attraction force, and for magnetic levitation we are using repulsion force. So here we are discuss about magnetic levitation, so there will be repulsion force is there. Now definition: magnetic levitation is equal to magnetic plus levitation. Anything which may levitate, it means rise or float, by means of magnetic power is simply called as magnetic levitation. So levitate means rise or float. Here in this figure we can see that here there is a gap in between these two, and this is the rise. We can say that it is a rise due to magnetic field. So magnetic field is known as magnetic power. So due to this magnetic power, this ball is rises above the this piece, and in between these two there is a repulsive force. So this is the basic of magnetic levitation. Principle: in which principle the magnetic levitation works. Like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. This is the basic principle that we have discussed. Here we can see South Pole and North Pole, and in between these two there is a attraction. So we can see the arrow is type of in a center. So first case will be attraction, it means two dissimilar poles are there, or we can say, in other words we can say unlike poles are there. South and north both are unlike poles, so there is a attraction. If like poles are or similar poles are there, So in this second case there is a repulsion. So we can see the direction of arrow of force. Okay, so this is the repulsion and this is used in magnetic levitation. See, if two south poles are there, if two north poles is placed like this, then this is also the case of repulsion. So this is the basic principle of magnetic levitation. Now types of magnetic levitation. One is electromagnetic suspension and another one is electrodynamic suspensions. In short form, these are known as EMS and EDS. So first we will see electromagnetic suspension. It means EMS. So EMS is the magnetic levitation of an object achieved by constantly altering the strength of the magnetic field produced by electromagnets using a feedback loop. Okay, so in this type of case, object achieved by constantly altering the strength of magnetic field. It means there is no constant magnetic field. We are altering the strength of magnetic field, and for that we are using feedback loop. And second type is electrodynamic suspension, or it is in short form it is known as EDS. So electrodynamic suspension is a form of magnetic levitation in which there are conductors which are exposed to time varying magnetic fields. Okay, so in this case, see here word used is dynamic. It means we know that in a dynamic system there is a time varying. So in this case, conductors are exposed to time varying magnetic fields. This induces eddy currents in the conductors that creates a repulsive magnetic field which holds the two objects apart. So by varying the magnetic fields, what will happen? There is a induced of eddy currents in the conductors that creates a repulsive magnetic field. We know that repulsive magnetic field is used in magnetic levitation. Now some methods to achieve magnetic levitation. So what are the methods available from which we can achieve the magnetic levitation? So we will see one by one. First one is repulsion between like poles of permanent magnets. So that we have seen in a, if n and n pole are there, then there is a, in this pole are known as like poles, and there is repulsion in between these two. And if we are using south and south poles, then it is also a like poles. So there is a repulsion in between these two also. Okay, so one method is this. Second point is repulsion between a magnet and a metallic conductor induced by relative motion. Okay, so we know that there is a repulsion between magnet, it means permanent magnet, and metallic conductor. So if we are place a metallic conductor nearby magnet, then we know that there is a force is there. So and by moving this conductor, we know that it is known as relative motion. So by moving the metallic conductor near the magnet, then this is one, or this is also one method of to achieve magnetic levitation. Now next one is repulsion between a metallic conductor and an AC electromagnet. Okay, so one method is repulsion between metallic conductor. We know that metallic conductor and electromagnet. See, this is not a permanent magnet. Electromagnet means whenever we are giving a AC voltage, then there is a magnetic field is created. So this type of magnet is known as electromagnet. So if there is a metallic conductor and an electromagnet, then also there is a repulsion in between these two, and we can use this also to achieve magnetic levitation. Another case is repulsion between a magnetic field and a diamagnetic substance. So if there is any diamagnetic substance and magnetic field, then also there is a repulsion in between these two. And we can use this to achieve magnetic levitation. Next one is repulsion between a magnet and a superconductor. See, nowadays the concept of superconductor is uh, likely used in many applications. So there is a repulsion in between superconductor and magnet, and we can use this principle for magnetic levitation. Okay, so this is also one method to achieve magnetic levitation. Next one is attraction between unlike poles of permanent magnets or electromagnets. So what is the unlike poles? If north and south poles are there, or south and north poles, then these poles are known as unlike poles, because one north and one south pole is there. So this pole is known as unlike poles, and there is an attraction force in between these two, and we can use this force for the magnetic levitation. Next one is attraction between an electromagnet and a piece of iron or a magnet with sensors and active control of the current to electromagnet used to maintain some distance between them. So there is a attraction between electromagnet. We know that what is electromagnet. Okay, so electromagnet and one is conductor, then there is a attraction in between these two, and this conductor is particularly iron. If this metal is iron, then we know that there is a attraction in between these two. Okay, and by using sensors and active control of the current to electromagnet used to maintain some distance between them. Okay, so by we can control this distance, and this principle is used for the magnetic levitation. Next one is repulsion between an electromagnet and a magnet with sensors and active control of the current to the electromagnet used to maintain some distance between them. So there is a repulsive force in between electromagnet and a magnet with sensors and active control of the current to the electromagnet. So one electromagnet and one is the magnet with sensor and active control, and by adjusting the distance between these two, we can control this, and repulsing force is there in between these two. We can use this for the magnetic levitation. Now different laws used in magnetic levitation. What are the laws we are using? We are going to use is first law is Faraday's law, and it is known as Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Okay, so any what is the Faraday's law? Any change in the magnetic environment of a coil of a wire will cause an EMF to be induced in the coil. So what is this law? This law says that whenever there is a changes in magnetic environment, so due to these changes, the EMF is induced in the coil. Okay, so here we can see in this figure, here is an N S pole and there is a electromagnet. Okay, and this permanent magnet and here is an N S and N poles. Okay, so if we are moving this permanent magnet near to this electromagnet, then we know that here is north pole, here is also north pole, so there is a repulsing force in between these two. Okay, and due to this the EMF is induced in this. So due to this EMF, current is induced in this circuit. So this is the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and it is used in magnetic levitation. Now another law is Lenz's law. What is Lenz's law? When EMF is generated in a coil due to changing magnetic flux, it means it is a Faraday's law. Okay, we have already seen that in Faraday's law, whenever there is a change in magnetic flux, there is a EMF is generated. Okay, so the polarity of the induced EMF is such that it produces a current whose magnetic field opposes the change which produces it. It means what will be the polarity of induced EMF? So it will be such that it produces a current whose magnetic field opposes the change which produces it. Okay, so this is the Lenz law. It means the direction of induced EMF will be in such directions that a current whose magnetic field opposes the change in producing it. Okay, so this is the Lenz law. Now applications by which magnetic levitation could change the future. So one powerful application is maglev trains, or it is also known as magnetic levitation trains. Then second application is floating cities. Okay, third one is 3D cell cultures. Then space launch system. See, if we are using this repulsive force for space launch system, then this is also powerful application of magnetic levitation. Then efficient wind turbines. Okay, in normal wind turbines the efficiency is very low, but if we are using this magnetic levitation, then we can make efficient wind turbines. Then magnetic bearings. Okay, so we are using this principle in magnetic bearing also. Another application is studying weightlessness. Okay, then flying cars. So these are the some applications of magnetic levitation. So nowadays magnetic levitation is being used in ultra high speed trains. Ultra high speed means up to 300 km per hour, which float in the air about 100 mm to 300 mm above the metallic track. It means this train will be, it means there is a gap in between train and track is 100 mm to 300 mm. So this is known as float. And they do not have any wheels and do not require the traditional steel rail. Okay, its rail is different. So this is the very important application, and this is known as maglev train. So this is all about magnetic levitation and its applications. And most powerful application of this is magnetic levitation train or maglev train, and its speed will be very high. It is known as ultra high speed. It is up to 300 km per hour. Okay, so this is all about principle of magnetic levitation. Thank you.